What is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. Hey, in this video I'm just going to share with you guys some footage that I gathered this morning playing a double sniper loadout on my Titan using the Twilight Garrison. I took this loadout into 6v6, played lots of Clash, a little bit of Control, and I just honestly had a blast. I had like some 12.0 KD matches and 8.0, and so I had some pretty big games, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So this is the No Land Beyond, obviously, in my primary slot. In the secondary slot, I'm using an LDR. This is a year 1 LDR, and the reason I'm using a year 1 LDR is because I've only turned in one Vanguard rep package since the April update, and then I've turned in over 30 Crucible, and I have no longbows to my name yet, so my packages have been pretty stingy for me so far. So this is my year 1. It's got Snapshot, it's got Short Gaze, and Grenadier. It also has Surplus, which has absolutely no effect in PvP whatsoever. So it's mediocre. But I figured I'd pull it out, have some fun with it, and I've been enjoying it. Now, this first match I played, this is the very first match of the day for me. I played here on Thieves Den, and it was tough because this is such a tight quarters map. But there are lots of bottlenecks and choke points on it, so I kind of use those to my advantage. And one of the things about this map, you'll notice here I had red on my 6, and I just book it to the other side of top mid and pull a 180. And that's really what you have to do on this map. What I'm doing is I'm creating space, and these spawns, they flip so frequently on Thieves Den because the winning team, the team that's winning the match or controlling the flow of it so far, they usually have top mid control. And so that means that the spawns are going to flip pretty consistently for the other team, back and forth between the A and C locations. So as a general rule, you never want to put your back to the enemy spawn. So I went on a 15 kill streak here, basically just by being mindful of the spawns and never putting myself in between enemies. Always want to create some distance and put all the enemies in front of me. That's sort of the ticket. And if you can consistently do that, then you're really going to maximize your chances of having a pretty massive game. So the team itself, I really liked my team on this map. They didn't go huge in terms of score and kills, but what they did do is they moved together as a pack. We got a lot of assist points, and they played pretty smart together, and I really appreciate that in teammates. That's one of the things that makes good teammates when you're playing with randos in pubs. Now, I really enjoyed using my Titan with this loadout specifically because I do have a lot of options in terms of mobility when I'm using the Twilight Garrison, and I also have some options when it comes to melees when I have shoulder charge. So I prefer shoulder charge to Juggernaut when I'm sniping. There's really no need for me to run a Juggernaut build when I'm using a sniper. So I'm using the yield shoulder charge, and one of the great things about it is that when I'm in too deep, and you'll see that in the gameplay, especially here on Bannerfall, there's a big fight that goes down in the middle courtyard later in the video. But anyways, one of the things that you have is the creative freedom to use your melees as a way of, 1, getting a one-hit kill, and B, generating additional health. So as I'm primed and kind of hurting, like you saw in the opening clip there on Cauldron, I had no shield, I was half health, so I got a quick shoulder charge to regenerate my health, dropped a super for a double kill, and then threw a lightning grenade with a body shot with the No Land Beyond to wrap it up. And that's actually a great strategy when you're using NLB, is to couple it with grenades, because a lot of times you can just go a quick, especially with lightning grenades, because one of the things about lightning grenades that makes them so good is that the damage activates immediately. So you don't have to wait for a fuse and then the grenade to detonate. So you throw it, as soon as it sticks, bam, that's instant damage. And so you can go lightning grenade, body shot with the NLB, and get yourself a nice kill. Here you see I started to push up, then I saw red behind me, and I was like, I don't want to get in between enemies like I already talked about. And one of them activates Arc Blade, so I'm actually intentionally drawing him back towards our team spawn so we can team fire this guy down. This guy, obviously I can't communicate with people who aren't in game chat, so I couldn't tell him that dude was an Arc Blade, so he challenges. I get a body shot on him, I'm like, screw it, I want the shoulder charge, I'm going to close the gap here, but I get front stabbed. That is still a thing, by the way. You know, it's really hard to tell if the melee patch actually did a lot, because you can never know when when your melee damage procs and it wouldn't have earlier. You can't know that for sure. So I can't say definitively that I've seen a difference yet, but I'm sure over time it'll sort of make itself evident that some of these things are becoming more rare, like the front stabs and the shoulder charges not doing any damage, and just melee registration in general. Arc Blade activates, and with Arc Blades I tend to count on them using blink, so I try to use the most perilous route. So I take him to skiff instead of just taking an immediate left. I tried to get one pick, I missed my shot, and you can't stick it out, you just gotta go. Ended up with a 8.67 on that map. But anyways, so baiting opponents is really what you gotta do when you're using a double sniper loadout like this. It is a ton of fun, but you want to try and bait your opponents into bottlenecks, or else you're really not gonna have a good time if you're just trying to challenge people like you normally would, because you're really in the close range and even medium range engagements. If you're just whipping out your sniper and trying to toss it around in close quarters, you're gonna lose most of your engagements unless you're like a really godly player. So it's really in your best interest to sort of keep these bottlenecks and choke points in mind, and sometimes you can toy with opponents' radars. I do this sometimes where I'll close a gap and then I'll back off and basically just make my presence known on the radar and then run back to a bottleneck. Right there, that's the lightning grenade strategy I was talking about. I threw it down just to get a quick tag with the grenade, and then body shot with the NLB makes for an instant kill. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I'm managing these bottlenecks on Cauldron, like these doorways here, and I'm really glad that Cauldron is back in the rotation for 6s. This is such a great map for 6s in my opinion. It always has been. I've had some of my best games in Destiny on Cauldron in 6s, and I'm really happy to see some of these maps coming back to the 6v6 playlist. I like some of these smaller maps, and they're quite a lot of fun to play on. I enjoy the chaos sometimes. Sometimes it can be really frustrating, obviously, but a lot of times it can just be a ton of fun as well. This is how we wrapped with the game. Dropped a super, threw the grenade, and then body shot with NLB like I'm talking about. And I know in the comment section people can be like, body shots! Hey, there's more headshots in this video than body shots, so calm your body. There's honestly nothing wrong with body shots. People get upset sometimes, so obviously if you get double tapped to the body, sure, I understand that. But hey, if you gotta accurately place a grenade and hit someone in the body in close range with like a quick drag shot or whatever, that still takes skill, and I'm not ashamed to do it. Sometimes I'll intentionally go for the body. Sometimes it's a really dumb idea to try and only go for the head. Sure, some people really like those montage-worthy plays. I'm really not the kind of guy that goes hunting for montage plays. I go for practical kills. So if someone is primed, I'm not going to take the time to try and line up a headshot. Sure, if I get it, it may look cool, but the body's bigger. And if I want to just put someone down and get the points, because I'm trying to win a game, then I'm not going to do my teammates a disservice by trying to be that guy, only going for the montage plays. I'm going to go for the practical kills, I'm going to get the points, I'm going to try and help my teammates win a game. And that's really the way that I approach the Crucible. Sometimes you get those montage plays, and that's great. I love to put them in videos and show them off. Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't proud of some of those plays. Absolutely I am. But also sometimes it's all about being practical and being a good teammate. And going for those montage plays can actually make you a detriment to your team sometimes. Sometimes it makes you reckless. Sometimes it makes you make poor decisions because you just really want to get that no scope or whatever it is. Sure, sometimes if you're in the lead by 3,000 points, heck, go for it. You'll never do anything cool if you never try, and that's always been my motto as well for gaming. But generally speaking, in tight matches, I'm just going to try and be the best teammate I can be. And sometimes that means taking a shot to the body on someone that you know is going to get to cover. And I don't consider that a waste of a bullet, because that's time that opponent is then taken out of the match. They have to recover their shields, and if my teammate has a better angle on them, they can finish them off, and I can get the assist. Sometimes I'll take a body shot and I'll actually back off so that I don't put myself in danger of dying and allow my teammates to clean up the kill. And really, that's just being smart. It's being practical and just trying to win a match, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, real quick, I get asked a lot when using the No Land Beyond. People always ask, what do you look at? Do you look at the sights themselves? Are you looking at the iron sights? Or are you looking at the sight picture behind it and trying to line those things up in the sights? The answer to that question is, and I'm sure if you're a marksman out there in real life, you can echo this, but if any of you guys have ever taken any sort of shooting lessons, and I have, I do like the license to carry concealed classes and all that business. And one of the things they always teach you whenever you're doing any kind of marksmanship in real life, they tell you, look at the sights. Your goal here is to focus your eye on the sights and trust your peripherals to tell you when your target has entered the sights. So you definitely want to focus on the iron sights And your peripherals should be good enough to indicate when someone's head has entered, or even their body, if that's what you're shooting at, when that has entered the sight picture. So don't focus on what's behind the sights, focus on the sights themselves. And I mean, obviously you do want to keep an eye on the map, the radar. You're going to be looking at other things as well. This isn't real life, this is gaming. So I understand that, but generally speaking, if you want to be more accurate, focus on the sights, let the sight picture behind it sort of dictate when you pull that trigger. Does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. If not, well then I suck at teaching, and that's fine too. And this last clip here comes from a match I spawned into late, and we actually came back and won this one if I remember correctly. But spawned in late here on Blind Watch, and I had to get creative. These guys were pushing pretty aggressively, and I'm sitting here with 2 sniper rifles, and I had to get creative with the way that I used my melees, and sort of using all this. There's like lots of circular cover on this map, so I just run circles around it to build up my shoulder charge and hit people. I choked this snipe. It was an easy snipe. I think I honestly just overthought it. I was like, oh, he's super exposed. Here I drop down and get the no-scope melee. And I use that tactic pretty frequently using the No Land Beyond, because No Land Beyond is actually, it's not written anywhere, but I remember seeing a Reddit post that broke down the statistics on it, but it's actually, long story short, more accurate than most sniper rifles from the air. So it's got more accuracy airborne than most sniper rifles. I use that to my advantage. Shoulder charge as you're running circles around this this cover up here. So anyways, this was a really tight match. It was kind of fun to... I actually don't mind spawning in late to matches usually. It's sort of I instantly feel challenged and compelled to really just instantly turn it up, you know what I mean? So anyways, it was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay, guys, and me ranting and raving, and I'll catch you in the Crucible.